Here we go. This is the Sinnis Terrain 125, T125 as it's known now. This is the more modern version of the air-cooled version. This now has a water-cooled 125cc motor. It now develops a massive 12.7 brake horsepower and 10.5 Newton meters of torque. The previous model was 11.2 brake horsepower, and I can't remember how many Newton meters, but it hardly matters. This machine is £2,995, and that's usually about another £100 on top of that for putting it on the road. That's things like your registration with DVLA and road fund licence. It's a remarkable package. It's probably the only 125 that's a genuine adventure bike. As you can see, it's complete with all the luggage. You get 2 side panniers and a top box and quite a few of these fancy crash bars. It's an impressive machine for the price. I've not added very much to this bike at all. The only additions that you'll see on this machine, you can see I've got the handguards here. They were £20, and I've had some heated grips fitted, which cost me £36.95 off eBay. They're R&G heated grips, and they are absolutely excellent, particularly at that price. I got the garage to fit those for me as part of my deal. The bike goes very well. I've just had its first service. The first service cost me £89, and that was at 600 miles. Its next service is due at about another 650 miles, and then after that, I think it's every 1200 miles. The bike comes with 17-inch front and rear wheels, which at first you might think might be a bit of a compromise for off-roading. Well, maybe so, but I have taken it off-road, and I took the other one off-road a little bit. And it's proved to be fine. I think the message always is don't try and ask too much of it. Remember, it's only a 125 and it's not really cut out to be a motocross bike. The first thing that struck me about it when I started riding it was the comfort. This seat is absolutely brilliant. I've done hours in a row. I think I did 3 hours coming back from Wales the other day in a straight run, and I was still comfortable at the end. The position of the bars, the position of the foot pegs, the triangle as it's called between your bottom, your feet and the handlebars is absolutely spot on. You can't fault it. The little screen may not look very impressive, but it does a great job. Okay, the bike only probably has a maximum speed of 60 to 65 miles per hour, but even so, it did a great job of keeping the wind blast off me. It's the comfort thing that's really surprised me. Suspension wise, as you can see, it's got upside down telescopic front forks, and it's got a standard rear shock absorber at the back. That is adjustable for preload only. The front end is not adjustable at all. It has something called CBS, a combined braking system, and that basically means that if I apply the back brake, I get mostly back brake and then a little bit of front brake. As far as I'm aware, I don't think the front brake applies anything but front brake. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but other than that, the brakes are very, very good. In fact, I think they must have improved the brakes on the newer model. They've certainly lowered the seat height. Apparently now it is 780 millimeters, which is, I'm told, 20 mil lower than the old model. And the other thing that comes across is its weight. The air-cooled model was 150 kg, this one is 162. Slight increase in weight because of the water cooling, but also the increase in power more than compensates for that. So that's really excellent. The dashboard is spot on. You cannot fault the dash. It's got an analog rev counter, it has a digital display. On there you've got your time of day, you've got your trip distance and your odo, and then you've also got a gear position indicator. Usual stuff besides that, indicators, high and low beam, the flash button, horn obviously. We'll even get, can you believe this, we even get hazard warning flashes. And at the front of the bike there are side lights as well as the main headlamp unit. Let's see if I can just show you that very quickly so that you can see what I'm talking about. Let's just pop that ignition on. And there you go. I won't start the bike up, but you can see here these notice lights which really do catch drivers' attention. It's very, very manoeuvrable. It's very easy to ride. It doesn't give you any nasty surprises. For what you get for the money, it's quite remarkable value. You do get a centre stand as standard as well as the side stand, and you get all these crash bars. Just take a look at all this lot here. Engine bars here, fairing bars here. The panniers themselves as well have got crash protection with these bars. So it's extremely well protected. A high level exhaust, and I think probably the most important bit in many ways is the luggage. The luggage isn't massively voluminous. In fact, this particular top box can be replaced with a larger top box, which will cost you, I think, £85. But the beautiful thing about the top box is that it's just, they're all on the same key, and there's just so much flexibility by having the luggage fitted as standard. And that's it. I can't recommend the bike highly enough. I've ridden it quite a bit now. I've been to Wales on it a few times, and it certainly will manage 60 miles an hour if you really want it to. It's happiest at 50, and it now has the 6-speed gearbox, whereas the previous model had only a 5-speeder. I'm thoroughly impressed, and I would say to you, don't rule it out just because it's only a 125. The great thing about this bike is that you can take it on little rough tracks, you can take it through little lanes, you can take it where the grass is growing up the middle of the road, and you never ever feel intimidated. Everything about it's good. The quality of the mirrors is excellent. They don't vibrate even at 50, 60 miles an hour. The controls are very light. The clutch lever is beautifully light, the gear change is light. The whole thing is just very, very smooth, and it certainly has cracking build quality. You can't really find anywhere where you think, oh, that's where it's been built down to a price rather than up to a standard. It's very, very good. I would say to you, if you've got any ideas about a 125, try one of these. It feels a much bigger bike than a 125. A lot of people have said to me, what size is it? And they're surprised it's only a 125. Absolutely excellent. Try one. There are lots of Sinnis dealers all over the place. There are a few links that you might want to have a look at as well. Not least of which is Riding from Reality. A lad called Paul and his girlfriend Holly took the air-cooled version of this to Mongolia to take part in the Mongol Rally. That was from London to 10,000 miles on one of these each, loaded up with camping gear. And the only trouble they had was when they dropped one of the bikes, the mirror broke. Apart from that, the bike got them 10,000 miles to take part in the rally. Pretty impressive, I think. The warranty is excellent on them. The first 12 months is part and labour warranty together with breakdown cover, including home start. So you can actually call out the breakdown people if you do have a problem. And I think that shows how much confidence Sinnis have got in the product. The other thing I'd mention is the fact that the year after that, you just get parts only. But even then, even when it's out of warranty, the parts are not expensive. The seat alone is something ridiculous, like £60, £65. And if you do break mirrors or crash bars or any of the bits and pieces, it's really very reasonably priced to replace those parts. I'd recommend one. I think it's really excellent.